Hello, this is Horror Studio One, and this is my unedited podcast. Hello, thank you for tuning in again for Horror Studio One's unedited podcast. So, after last week's heavy topic about the deep web and child abuse and Peter Scully, I decided this week for the first podcast episode we may do something that's a bit more cartoony, if you will. So don't worry, guys. In the description, if you want to skip my whole talk in the beginning, I do. I've decided that now, many of you have suggested, and I personally feel is, it's not a bad idea in general, is that I put a timer at the bottom for when I will actually start the topic of the day of the video kind of thing. So if you guys want to skip all the stuff where I'm just going to be talking about myself or, the future of my channel, you can check in the description. I'm going to put a time when I actually start. My mouth hurts. Just talking. Yeah, there's this zit thing. I think it's like a cold sore on my mouth. I'm sorry if I gave you guys a nasty image right there, but I guess talking too much, man, working too hard. But anyways, if you guys want to just skip directly to the topic of the day and don't want to hear me bullshit, just click on that and then, we'll bring you right there kind of thing. So yeah, I've decided to add that to my videos. And about the feature of my videos and my podcast, I've been having some debates, despite how much I would love to do podcasts and stuff. I feel like a lot of Horror Studio One's general fans have been maybe disgruntled by the fact that I've uploaded a lot of podcasts here lately and not as much of the stuff I used to do, the countdown videos, the creepypastas. I mean, I've even felt that for myself as well. Feels like I've been focusing too much on the podcast maybe, and I haven't been writing or as hardworking as I used to be kind of thing. So I don't know. I've been having some thoughts. I've actually thought about putting an end to the podcast all in all, but I realize that there are people that like to view my podcasts, like to hear me rant about stupid stuff, stuff that is, could be considered supernatural, paranormal, in the horror genre, but they want to hear it from me instead of, just a narration of edited and scripted material. They wanted to hear a real, true, living, breathing voice of trueness, of authenticity. So, I mean, there's different types of fans for both types of videos I do, but I've been debating whether or not I should still upload podcasts to Horror Studio One, or like many people I know, they upload it directly to iTunes. So I'm actually having some thoughts about maybe still doing daily podcasts, but directly uploading that to iTunes. Or, I mean, a lot of people do that. That I like do that. I mean, that way, people that like to watch my, normal countdown, or they want to watch the creepypasta stuff, can basically just watch it here. And then for those who really love listen to my podcast, can just go, get it into iTunes and you can still listen to the stuff. I mean, of course, when I do that, there's going to be no visuals, but, I'm basically just going to put random visuals here anyways. So, I mean, that's really not a big loss there. It's not like I'm videoing my face talk as I do these. So, I mean, I could do that. So, or a third option would be not doing them every day, but leaving the podcast for one day, let's say like a Monday or something, a Monday podcast, and just taking all the week's material and making it maybe a bit longer, maybe half an hour to 1 hour. Just do a weekly one instead of a daily one kind of thing. I've been debating, or if you guys want, we can just keep it as the way it is, as well. So there's 4 options for you guys. Yeah, if you guys can just do me a huge favor, comment in the comment section below. Even if you don't like my podcast, don't like my podcast, just basically say what you feel that I should do, because I'm torn between a couple of things. Some people like this, some people don't like it. It's making me feel kind of lazy, but then I also love doing it. I love doing it. Man, my mouth is all over the place today. I love doing it, kind of thing. So if you guys can decide for me, maybe then I'll do it. I mean, even if you fucking hate my podcast, just hey, go ahead, write in the comments that how much you hate it and you want it to disappear. Or if you hate me, write that as well, I guess. I'm just enticing people to write hate messages towards me. No death threats, please. But no, I'm just kidding. But still, yeah, please do that in the comment section below, and that'll really be really helpful in deciding the future of my videos, kind of thing. Because I do feel like I haven't written something in a very long time, and I used to, I started my channel as a thing to write stories and share paranormal things, but I'm still sharing them, and it just feels like it's totally taken a different angle, and I don't know. Growth has been slow as well, So I mean, do you guys like them? I mean, if you guys don't like them, even if you guys are my usual fans and you guys don't like what I'm doing, yeah, I mean, you guys are totally open to call me out. Even if you guys privately message me, I'll accept that as well. And I've probably not been doing as well with responding to comments lately. I've just been really busy. August is a really busy month for me, as you know. I went to Vegas recently, So I mean, I guess by the start of September, things will get a bit more routine, and I'll be responding to your comments a lot faster, sometimes these days I respond to you guys. I used to respond to you guys like right away, but now it's like it's taking me at least 2 days or something to get back to you guys, and I feel really bad about that, but I will try to do that as much as possible. So yes, I promise you guys I will do that. So yeah, the topic of the day, this is where I'm gonna put my timer, is Death Note. So for those individuals who don't know what Death Note is, it is a Japanese manga or anime that has existed from the year 2006, which I'm pretty sure is when it came out. It is my favorite anime in the world. It's a strong battle between Death Note and Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball Z, they had their faults as well. They had parts that I didn't like, but Death Note is an all in all one of my favorite stories ever. I'm not even just gonna say an anime because I don't really watch anime, but in a story and narrative in general, it's really great. For those that don't know what Death Note is, please go check it out. You will not be disappointed. And if you like anime, or if you like any kind of mystery, suspense kind of, even movies or that kind of genre, Death Note will provide you with those emotions greatly. You will not be disappointed. The story itself is really simple. The concept is simple yet kind of disturbing, I guess. The story talks about a notebook that whenever you write someone's name in that notebook, that person will die. Very simple concept. Sounds like something that even a 7th grader could have thought of, right? But they take that interesting concept and they put it somewhere else. They add characters to it, interesting characters. The main character who finds this extraordinary notebook is an individual named Light Yagami, who is a high school student, a overconfident, high-achieving high school student who feels that he is bored with life, He feels the world around him is messed up as shit. And yeah, I mean, why not feel like that? I believe that sometimes as well. He believes things aren't supposed to be that way, and that he's the only one that is normal. Very, obvious traits of a narcissistic, I guess, self-absorbed, self-centered individual, which he is, to be honest, and he's an immature kid as well because he's still a high school student. And he truly does believe that even before finding the notebook. And of course, once the death Shinigami, it's a death god called Ryuk, drops the notebook into the mortal world, because the character of the death god is also a bored individual as well, quite obviously, because they don't die. Imagine living forever for thousands of years. You would have to find something to do. So he drops his death note in the mortal human world in an attempt to create some something to kill time kind of thing. And of course that changes the life of Light Yagami, this brilliant, handsome, well-off high school student who finds this notebook and discovers its powers, its twisted powers to be able to kill somebody, And he uses that to want to change the world. He basically wants to become the ruler of the new world, and eventually his name is Kira, which is the Japanese way of saying killer, because the people he kills actually aren't the people you would expect someone who would find the notebook would kill, Most people probably found the notebook and kill the people they hated the most, right? The people around them that bullied them, their bosses, their enemies, ex-lovers, those kind of people. But backstabbers, people that cheated on them, stuff like that. But this individual, like Yagami, actually uses the notebook to kill criminals. He only kills criminals, and that way he's trying to make a statement to the world that criminals are dying and that people are kind of succumbing to his authority, right? To his hidden authority, his kind of twisted authority as well, because those that make the news as criminals, he starts off by killing the most high-profile criminals, obviously, and he goes on from there. And he believes that by doing this, the world will become a better place and be shifted in the way that he wants it to be shifted, kind of thing. So that is the whole story of his ordeal. And if you think, well, with that kind of premise, how are you ever going to get caught? Basically, he meets a rival, someone by the name of L, a supposedly super detective who, has cracked every single case in the world, kind of thing, which is also like a kid as well. The thing is, for Yagami to be able to use the Death Note to kill someone, he needs to know the name and the face of that individual to be able to kill them. But in that circumstance with L, which is the super detective, L is always hidden. And also, obviously, L is not that person's real name. So despite, as the episodes go on, the two characters eventually meet one another, each kind of knowing that the other person is the person they're looking for, is their enemy. But the fact is, none of them had the evidence. Like Yagami does not have the person of the L's name to be able to kill him. And L, being the cop, does not have the evidence to prove that Light Yagami is the killer, kind of thing. And it's just like this thing of doing mind games, because obviously, by the fact that Light Yagami's father is a police officer, and he becomes involved with the case, and L, suspects of Light Yagami greatly. They kind of try to solve the case together, but obviously, because Light Yagami is the perpetrator, is a person that they're all trying to find, he has to kind of double think, use reverse psychology and all that to kind of try to hide his own identity, but kind of blame it on someone else as well, but still kind of move forward with the case, right? Show that the case is moving forward. And of course, the whole the whole anime, which is, I actually watched the anime, talks about that. It's very interesting. It's not your typical, cartoon. If some people in my audience are maybe a bit older, you guys think these things are cartoons. This thing is really freaking good. Watch it. Give it a chance. I really would recommend it. And that actually brings me to another thing as well. It's I think I talked about this in my Suicide Forest podcast. I said that I won't talk about Suicide Forest anymore, but I want to talk about death culture in Japan. It's really prevalent, and I found it really interesting how characters, they're allowed to do that, The main character being a psychopath killer, a murderer, basically. But somehow, as I watched the anime, I would have to be very honest and said that I rooted for Light. they made the protagonist a likable individual. You kind of saw why he wanted to do the things he did. The thing, his explanations were not wrong, right? And I guess it's really true for those that feel emotional towards high-profile cases as well. As I said before, in many of the cases even that I've talked about, the Peter Scully cases, people have said stuff like, if I could kill this guy, if I could do things to these horrible criminals who have done, have raped kids or have tortured women, right? And what light is doing is basically doing that for us, that anger, that, that justice that we very subjectively see in the world should exist, that the justice system does not probably provide, right? We believe that those who did massively horrendous crimes should burn, but the justice system believes that everyone is equal. Even if you do the most atrocious things, you are still a human being, right? But what light does and how that intrigues the human mind is we delve into that fantasy of being able to judge people based on our own credentials, kind of thing. And that's why I find it so enticing about the manga. I mean, the story itself, it's the anime itself was a personality of Light Yagami, right? A perfect student, but inside he felt the same as every single one of us. He believed in something that he could uphold, and the Death Note gave him the twisted power to be able to do that. And that you kind of see that from a well-rounded individual with an inner demon on his inside become molded into a crazy, a dark, twisted individual, a serial killer who even goes to the extent of manipulating the woman that loves him, his family, and even kills his father in an attempt to, in the end, bring justice, his own justice to the world, And his arrogance as well was really attractive, I think. I've always been attracted to arrogance. I don't know why. I think it's because society, we're taught to be humble. We're taught to be, not self-absorbed. We're taught to be kind and courteous to people. It's just that when you're in a world of fantasy, like in a world of anime, of cartoons, of stories, that self importance, making yourself grandiose than everyone else is such an attractive thing to me. And that's what Light does, he believes that he is a god. He calls himself the god of the new world, right? And he's just a kid. He's a nobody. He's done nothing in life, right? He's an arrogant kid, but he believes that with this power of this notebook, he's going to be a god of the new world, kind of thing. And that's what's really enticing. A lot of people that like Death Note really they comment on L, the arch enemy of Light, because L is he's supposed to be the good guy, he's upholding justice. He's a quirky character, he's kind of funny, he's a comic relief kind of thing, so people kind of sided with him more. But the reason I think Death Note achieved the kind of success that it did, with the 3 live action movies, and even right now in 2015 there was actually a new TV series. So for the fans who like Death Note, there's a new TV series that came out in Japan, because the last movie was in 2009, so that was only 6 years ago. But that shows how popular the topic is, right? And in just a span of 6 years, they had to reboot the whole thing. So it was like Spider-Man, it's like Andrew Garfield is Spider-Man now, and then Tobey Maguire was like just Spider-Man 2 years ago, kind of thing. So that's what they did. It's that popular in Japan. But I would actually recommend the anime as if you guys want to start it out. I've never read the manga. I believe that it's going to be harder to find the manga. I don't know. But the anime, you can probably find it online, on YouTube, on any kind of Google search. You guys can find the Death Note anime, which it really hooked me to the story. Please go check that out. And another thing I found enticing, actually, was because I was, reading up stats on Death Note. It's interesting that the number of days because the Death Note, besides taking life, it can also extend one's life as well. And, of course, after they extend that person's life, they'll eventually die. But I mean, one of the factors in Death Note was that a person's life can get extended up to 23 days. Now, the number 23, I find it really intriguing. I don't know why. It brings me the moment I saw the fact that Death Note can extend someone's life to approximately only up until 23, not 22, not 24, not 13. You would think it would be something like 13 because it's like the unlucky number, but it's 23. And it really kind of got me into thinking about a theory about the number 23. If you guys remember, there was a movie, of course, called The Number 23 by Jim Carrey, and that talks about a lot of superstitious, supernatural things as well. I've never watched it, but the thing that reminded me was the movie Jeepers Creepers, and it's you guys haven't watched it, you guys can go check it out. It's sort of campy, to be honest. It's a very low-budget horror movie that came out in 2001, I was thinking. Yeah, probably 2001, and it stars us Justin Long. And it kind of made him into like a star. He stars in that movie with this girl. I think it's Gina Phillips is the girl's name, and they play brother and sister. And the story talks about them being on a road trip, just a normal brother and sister. They're basically trying to drive back home on a long highway kind of thing with nothing else, and they stumble onto a car, a raving truck. A really dangerously driven truck. That says "be eating you" as its license plate. Be eating you. Okay, that's the license plate of that weird truck. And then they're like, "What the shit is this?" And they see that the crazy truck. They pass by it at a church, and the person inside the truck is throwing bodies down like a well kind of thing. And they go explore, and basically they go down to see various bodies inside. And they're freaked the shit out. They freak out. Basically, the story is that the person driving the truck is not a person, but a demon. And you think he's some kind of demon or devil or alien or something like that, but just some kind of monster that eats people. That basically, why the movie is called Jeepers Creepers is because every time that song plays, that Jeepers Creepers monster will appear, kind of thing. And you guys know the song Jeepers Creepers, I think it was like 1920s, 1930s, like Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those people? So it was one of those, like, it's kind of creepy, like I've always wanted to add one of those songs into my like audio stuff, maybe because of this movie, I'm not sure, but basically, yeah, that's what it talks about. And the creeper keeps trying to follow this brother and sister now, right? It kind of picks up the scent of these two individuals, and they're informed that the reason this monster keeps on following them is because they have something the monster wants. Because the monster will only, once they eat the body part of that human being, it becomes a part of them. So if they like your eyes and they eat the person's eyes, they will have the eyes of that person, and it will just grow out from their eyes, apparently. So yeah, that's pretty fucking creepy. But one aspect of that movie that I wanted to talk about, was kind of how it reminded me, was it had the number 23 as well. Number 23 was every 23 days of the 23 week, I don't know, basically it was like every 23 years, for 23 days, the Jeepers Creepers monsters will get to wake up from his slumber, because he's supposedly this demon that lives forever or thousands of years, an ancient evil or something like that. He will get to wake up and he'll get to feast on people, which is also the number 23. So I just found that so crazy. What is up with the number 23? And myself as well, my most popular YouTube video is 23 True Ghost Stories. So, and I think heard that, was it 23 is like a really popular like click thing. Like if you Google search and you put 23 ways to lose weight or something, people will click on it more likely because of the number 23 or 33 or something like that. It's just that are people obsessed with 23? What is up with 23? Is it because all men like 23-year-old girls? Everybody wants to be 23 all of a sudden? Like, there's just something about 23, I think, because I'm not sure. I just looked at all those things and it seems like 23 is a number. It's never 24, is it? It's never 22, but always 23. Don't know why, I just found that pretty interesting. Yeah, so you guys should definitely go check out Death Note. It's one of the most best-selling Japanese like mangas, animes ever. It stars the greatest, like the biggest stars in Japan, and it is a really interesting story. I didn't care for the live-action movies that much, but in general, the anime was definitely the best. Go check it out, especially the parts before. Spoiler alert: before L died. I'm sorry for those who haven't watched it yet. L does die, but that doesn't mean that Light Yagami wins. So you guys just gotta check that shit out. Does Light die? I don't know. Not gonna say that, but please go check it out. And yes, if you guys can do me that honor of putting in the comments below either what you think about Death Note or the number 23. But basically, please try to say what you guys want me to do with these podcasts. If you guys want me to keep doing them at all, if you guys want me to upload them on iTunes, if you guys want me to upload them once per week, or if you guys want me to keep it as it is right now. If you guys, I'm not sure. This channel, a lot of things are unsure right now, but yeah, you guys can help me out by telling me what you guys want, and I'll listen to you guys. You guys know that, and I will try to be more consistent with, I guess, replying to your comments, because I know a lot of you guys comment, and life's been pretty busy, but I will try to get back on track. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, staying till the end. And yeah, this is Horror Studio 1 with the Unedited podcast once again. Guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.